Good morning, everyone. It's Modified Darvas Box MDB, and it is Saturday morning on August 10th at 11:10 a.m. I've done my morning chores, taken a shower, gotten cleaned up, which means it's time for a weekend review video. And man, what a frickin' week it was. All I want to say, let's just open it all. Everybody, put your hand out, lift your middle finger, and say, fuck you, Bank of Japan, and fuck you, Jerome Powell. Okay, there we go. We got it out of our system. Because, man, what we went through at the beginning of this week, I tell you, it messed me up. And I don't know if it messed you guys up, but uh, let's just hope we get less of those days in less of these days and weeks in the future. Let's just put it that way. So, okay, we had a ton of volatility. The charts are all messed up, although they're beginning to come back. And crazily enough, there's some new bullish box breakouts along with some other stocks that did not go well and we should now avoid. But we'll get into that in a second. For anyone who's never watched my videos, I'm an independent trader, investor. I developed my own unique trading system based on the book, How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. And I've also added principles from the strategy, along with anything else useful that, I happen to stumble across. Always learning, always trying to improve, always adding new stuff, or at least testing stuff out. And if it works, use it. The whole point, though, don't lose money. Try something new, fine. Don't lose money. If it loses money, it doesn't work. If it makes you money, it works. Try and use it and get better at it. What we're solving here, we're solving trading problems. I'm looking for trading solutions to my trading problems. So, uh, but anyways, my charts. On my charts, you see the system, you see the boxes, so Darvas box method, and I do them my own way, modified Darvas box. I don't follow Darvas religiously from the book. I took his ideas and I've hopefully improved upon them. Uh, so you'll see different colors on my charts that mean different things. Like here, a light gray, that's an inside bar, that's 50-50. You can trade off that. That's a valid trading signal. If you're trading in here, in my opinion, these aren't anywhere near valid trading signals. So on my charts, I like to look for valid trading signals and use that to help guide my buying and selling. I've got 6 different lists, which I'm always moving stuff around on. And we're going to look at only the top 4 because we're only going to look at the stuff which actually had triggers and action happening on them. So let's get right into it. And the first chart here is AMZ. And like everything else, these last few months, it's been, a downtrend. We've seen downtrends in everything. And I showed you guys the downtrend signal a month ago. So don't say you didn't see it or weren't aware about it. Most likely you didn't do anything about it, but that's okay because it's hard. You got to learn to trust signals. And even me, did I sell everything the moment I saw a signal? No, but I'm aware of it and I'm aware of what can happen. And so, I accept the results that come out of it. But right now we've got a 3-week downtrend here, and it's definitely going to be forming a new Darvas box. Like Darvas would draw it here with the entire thing. I modified a little, all depending upon do I want to keep the tail or not. Generally, I don't keep the tail and I'll maybe go off the close. But the boxes aren't magical, they're just framing tools that frame trading ranges. And it helps to understand the structure of the chart. So use it as you see fit. But there's the beginning of a box range. Now I'm not going to leave it on there because I like to see a couple more bars and see that low hold before I draw them. Some I might draw prematurely, but that's the majority I don't. Now I know one user hates ARK chart, and yeah, ARK sucks, but I do not recommend ARK. Poor Kathy Wood, I'm almost pity her now, but she's made a ton of money, so let's not. But it's a great chart for showing signals. My yellow bar buy signal right here. Uh, pink and blue signal bars, which are both sort of pay attention. Hey, something's happening. Pay attention. They tend to be, if it's pink, it's bearish. If it's blue, it's bullish. Then you got these things here, hammers and shooters. A shooter is simply an inverse hammer bar. But anyways, I've colored them orange as well. So the colorings, yep, that's how I see trading signals on my charts. I've coded these with my proprietary coding, and if you can figure it out, more power to you. But if you think it's a good idea to use colors on your charts to help identify signals, be my guest. Signals, and then the reaction to signals. Reactions are the bar after the signal. The reactions are where we trade, or at least, where the market gives you a chance. It shows the signal, and then you got a chance to buy or sell the reaction. Blues tend to have a pullback reaction, but not always. So in many ways, the reaction is more important than the signal itself. But we know that the market's been in a downtrend. We had a wild and crazy Monday with the gigantic gap down, and let me tell you, I didn't come out of that unscathed, and it's just messed everything up. Because here's the perfect example. Here's the Nasdaq. By the way, there's your top signal right there. Don't say the market didn't tell you. The market tells us. All you got to do is just draw a little line across the bottom there, and there's your signal to sell, short, hedge, get out, whatever. Did people listen? Nah, because people never listen. But you also have the beginning of a box range. But again, I'm not going to really draw that, so I'm going to leave that off for now. But look at the gap from here to here. That's just insane. And in fact, the gap, everybody appears to have bought the gap, And it kind of makes sense that people bought it, because why would you go down from here? And that's what I posted on about Trader's Logic. Trader's Logic is, if this is the max amount of panic and that's the best it can do, well then that's the bottom, or at least a temporary bottom, and it's time to cover shorts and buy longs and go long. And clearly that's what the market did. Now whether it's going to continue and hold up, that's the $64,000 question, which nobody knows at the moment. But there's an interesting thing on the S&P 500 worksheet. We had a huge print on the current quarter, huge current increase, 12%. I don't know why, but we'll talk about that near the end of this video. And that's one thing about me, which some people have expressed that they really appreciate. When I don't know something and I can't make heads or tail of it, I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I look at the screen and I go, I can't make heads or tails of this. I don't know what's going on. My signals don't tell me. I don't know. On Twitter or any other source, you see people constantly always know the answer, which is just BS. But, if you don't know, say, I don't know, and don't do anything. Just wait until you do know. Your brain rationalizes things and creates stories to make it logical, and half the time those stories are completely false. But that's what your brain does, because that's what it needs to do to process. But, if you don't know, just say, I don't know. So at the moment, I don't know what's going to happen next. But it looks like it reclaimed the weekly moving average, which I use. Fancy that. My one moving average, and it does that. I am not a big believer in moving averages, but if you are, well, okay. You can expend your energy on those. But I do use one as sort of like above good, below bad kind of system. But we've had 4 weeks of selling, and now we sort of sold a little bit, but now the market's got to figure it out. But there's that signal. All right, let's look at the damage that happened. Ethereum. Imagine if you bought Ethereum up here and it's been doing nothing but going down. Well, there was a chance to buy Ethereum down here at 20 if you really like it. Honestly, I don't know, so I leave it alone. The growth proxy, FFTY, yeah, that looks awful. So even though it had sort of a rebound, Are you really, want to have it? Well, maybe. I don't know. I didn't touch it. China's down. Uh, Bitcoin, well, GBTC, they sort of screwed up their security by peeling off 10% and creating a new uh, security, BTC. But it's just a complicated pain in the ass. So another reason to not own it. But technically, white bar sell signal, box breakdown at the moment. Bitcoin is sort of bearish, but I may need to get a new Bitcoin proxy going, which I think was I bit. Yeah, I may have to use this one going forward. This one looks more like a box range, sort of like here or maybe here. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to figure that one out because grayscale messed it all up. Gold. Okay, gold had a breakout here and sort of did okay, but did people run for the gold? Nah, not really, but gold looks positive. High yield bonds. Oof, these giant gaps. It's just crazy. And if you're able to keep your head and buy them, well, more power to you. You did fine. But for me, when have a losing position, I just want out. I just sell it because the times where I've held on, it's just done worse. So, yeah, there are exceptions. Sometimes it rebounds before I can even get around to selling it, and then it rebounds. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it rebounded, and for many stocks and securities, that's what happened. It opened here and then immediately started going higher. So if you thought about blowing it out, well, maybe you said, well, wait a minute, let's hold on a minute, let's see what it does. And it worked out this time. The problem is then you get an ingrained behavior where you're always buying a big gap down. Well, at some point, the law of averages will catch up to you and you'll get screwed even more instead of it working out. But that's for future panics, I guess. IGV, white bar down, it's forming a box. Still a little bit bearish because it's below that moving average, but would I be buying software? No. And I'm looking for bullish stuff. This is bearish. Not bearish, but it had a breakout, and this is housing. Broke out, now back in it to its box range. Back to sideways. If you were a bull, you might be buy, but, here's one other thing. I like to see volume in the right place on the week of the breakout. Well, there was big volume over here, but how come the week of the breakout there was low volume? And then all it did was sell down the next 2 weeks. To me, this is a weak breakout. Like, yeah, price is moving, but is there power? Is there strength behind it? Not really. And so the potential for a failure, a box breakout failure, rises in my opinion. So micro caps, a lot of shake and bake going on in there. But you see, a lot of boxes are going to be formed. Give it a couple more weeks, and I'll be drawing boxes like crazy around this range. But the market needs a couple more weeks. IWM, shake and bake. But this breakout, which everybody was geeked on, a month ago, negated. That breakout's over. It's back to figuring out what to do and what's the economy going to do. Healthcare, look at that. That Prick Obama turned healthcare upside down and made insurance companies some of the greatest investments in the market. And of course, we get lousy healthcare now, but that's just a side effect. But as far as stocks go, IYH, that's a great one. In fact, I'm looking to increase the family trust in healthcare in this area. Because look at that. That's perfect. For a long-term investment, I think it did fantastic. Transports, trying to hold up, but getting weaker. There's the box breakdown, but then the rebound back up. But notice this. The rebound did not go back into the box range. We're going to see a lot of that too. That implies it's pretty weak. Meaning, yeah, they came in, they bought the rebound, but they didn't have enough power to to push it back up. There wasn't enough demand for that. So that's a little weak in my opinion. Gold, Fizz, I sold it here. Yeah, maybe I should have held it, but no big deal. QQQs, negative last week. Rebound here. Didn't quite regain that moving average, but okay, bulls will argue that that's fantastic. Yeah, it's not bad. But overall, this is going to get a new box range. It probably goes on that one right there for how I draw it. If you want to stick to Darvas himself, he'll be like that. Slight difference. I am modified Darvas box. But that's, how this looks. Does this look super bullish? Does this look super bearish? Let it figure it out. We need more time. Box range, you're going to see the same thing. RSP back to sideways. Man, that pink bar signal. But, yeah, the rebound. Buyers stepped up, So, sideways. Short-term bonds. Took a little breather here. Looks like all the panic buying into bonds hit a little bit of a ceiling there, huh? Not a box range, but I'm looking at the red volume bar. Interesting. Semiconductors, there's your signal there. But, interesting. Yeah, they did come into semiconductors, big green. But, it's got a lot of work to do to get back up to these highs. So, again, we got a new box range. And the whole theme for this video, box range. So, what we're looking for are those outliers that have an excessive bullish or an excessive bearish thing, since we know that the majority are going to just be going back into a sideways range. The S&P 500, look at that. That's fairly bullish, getting back above the moving average. It's more bullish than software. Interesting. SPYs. Sentiment, we hit a low, and now we're back to the middle. Interesting. And only a month ago, we were just so bullish it hurt. More sentiment. Lows back, I don't see anything crazy here. Solar getting knocked down. So look here. Solar did not have enough power to get back into the box range. That's bearish. It means, yeah, it rebounded along with everything else, but not enough. That's kind of the questions one needs to be asking, in my opinion. TLTs, the big panic breakout, and there's the big sell-off. Whoa, don't overdo it there. Volume analysts. When there's a big green and then followed by an immediately big red of equal or, gets close to it, well, TLTs for the time being just got stopped in its tracks. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be a reevaluation. I've read articles that said that bonds are now pricing in a recession. Are they? I don't know. I have no idea. The fun chart, the VIX. Look at that. Okay. So the VIX, let me break this down. This is weekly, and I'm going to show you monthly here in a sec. Weekly chart, last week had the box breakout, and the huge move, like that's historic. Look at that. Compared to COVID panic, and how far back can we go? What is this one? 2009 great GFC panic. That's amazing. But now the panic has subsided, and look at that. We're now back into a box range. And this green line, to me, is my approximation of what, if it's above this, just buy everything. Buy. So, and congrats to one or two of you that I know took heart on me mentioning it the last few weeks. Some of you guys, I believe, bought VIX options, and you guys made a freaking fortune. Congrats. So, yeah, markets are getting back to normal. The VIX is coming down, a little high at 20, but that's a lot better than being at 60, right? Now, here's the monthly. I flagged that something was going to happen back in the end of June, beginning of July, because there's your signal right here. Red, 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 red. Oh, an inside bar, monthly bar. Like I said, monthly bars are valid trading signals. It took out the low and then took out the high. And if you wanted to buy like VIX options or whatever, yeah, you bought it when it was 14 or, 13, 14. And the trade started working out once you bought it here in July. And in August, you got paid. And I hope you're not still hanging on to those. You should, in my opinion, you should have sold them and taken the money. Because it ain't going back to 60 unless something insane happens, in my opinion. But look at the VIX fund. I still can't believe it. It's just amazing. Yeah, look at that. Much more reasonable look. No, we're not going to panic. Panic. So again, stick out your hand and put out your middle finger and let the Fed know how you feel. Anything interesting? But a lot of the same, Uh, oil, that sort of energy, eh, financials. All right. So let's get into the textbook box breakouts. Here's where you may be a little surprised. Okay. AEHR, given to me by a viewer. I had no idea until they pointed it out here. A wonderful box breakout, big green volume. There's that big volume in the right spot. And now it's been doing the pullback. And it gave you a sign right here to sell and take your profits. Inside week. There's your trigger. Now, I don't own this. I did not trade it. I was not aware of this until like over in here. But this is a classic breakout. If you saw the signal right here, that's where you should have been. You should have been buying here this week, and you made a lot great money. And now the question is, do you hang on? Well, it's still a textbook box breakout in my technical definition, but there was a sell signal right here, so you could have gotten out in the 16s, or you're still hanging on with a few bucks. Now, if you're thinking of buying the pullback, that's also a valid potential idea also. But you'd need to look for a signal in here in the days and weeks to come. And maybe that signal's on the daily. And no signals. See, there's an inside bar, but it moved down. But you'd want to keep your eyes open for a signal which says, all clear, time to buy again. If you just bought here saying, oh, it's hitting the moving average, well, that's just random gambling buying. You really have no edge. Sorry. But try and look for a signal before you buy a pullback. BLND, I mentioned this on the Twitter. My friend Box Longs pinged me about this long time ago, like back in here. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But I did try some in here because I did point out way back here that this big volume bar was a signal in itself. Biggest volume of its history. Yeah, it was an index thing, but the point is that the supply and demand equation may have tilted to the bullish side. So I took some in here. I sold here. Why? Because there was a valid inside bar signal. Sold it. And now it just reported some great news. Now we're back to it being a box breakout. And I'm long in here. And by the way, while you may be like, wow, that's easy. This took a couple of different trades. Because I had it, and then it went up, and then it started coming back down, and then I sold it for I made like literally like 3-5 cents, whatever, a profit, and then I rebought it. So my cost right now is about $3.20. Is that right? Yeah, there we go. Because I bought on the little dip pullback. Now, granted, I thought it would hold up higher. It didn't. All right. But overall, this is the pattern. It's a box breakout. It's a yellow bar buy signal. Let's give it a chance. There's far worse out there. Berkshire. Okay, box breakout here. So this looks like the indexes. Now, granted, technically it violated the breakout level there, but it rebounded right here, and this was such a crazy week. I'm giving stuff like this the benefit of the doubt. So it'll stay on this list for now. Carvana. This was my biggest long loss from the giant gap down. So I bought it here. I sold in the red there. It gapped up. I rebought it. And then we had the big gap down. And I sold it near the open. Boy, that pissed me off when it rebounded. Because, of all the longs I've got, I'm focused. I can't focus on all of them. So I was mainly focused on Carvana at the open. Sold it, and then it immediately starts going up. And I'm like, oh, come on. And look at that. If I had held on to it, it would have worked out. But again, my personal feelings, my personal rule, any gap down through cost, I'm looking to get out. Don't lose money. Sometimes we can't help losing money, but I lost money on that one. That sucked. Box breakout still in effect on DHI. Housing. Lockheed. Defense. Did Defense even notice the gap down? No. I would say Defense, Lockheed. Oh my God, this probably is going a lot higher. Because in that gap down, it didn't even gap down, for Christ's sake. Big argument there for defense sector. What's that? ServiceNow? Yep. Some volatility. Now, Oracle. Oracle, it's a box breakout. It hit the level, but I'm going to keep it in this list for now. Again, benefit of the doubt. There's your signal to have sold. Like, I don't know, man. This is looking a little sketchy. You've been hoping it goes up. And if you sold here, well, you saved yourself a bunch of money. Don't say the market doesn't give you signals. It does. Rivian, if you miss this breakout, you got a chance to buy it back. You know how buyers always say, oh, if it only did a pullback, then I'd buy it. And then the scary pullback comes and they never buy it. So here's your chance. That's called a second chance. Again, RTX, defense, look at that. Amazing. Here's some of the crazy stuff. Shopify. Okay. Let's review this chart's history. It's moving up from way back here, way back when the big bull run started. Yellow bar buy signal. It rides the trend higher, then hits a bump. Pink bar, pay attention. Pink bars don't necessarily mean it's going to crash or drop or whatever, but it can indicate that that uptrend is over. Maybe it's going sideways, and it sure did here. It then had a Darvas box failure here. I tried shorting it. And I kept noticing in here, God, it's just not dropping. It's just not dropping. Come on. And then finally it closed it out because it gave me a inner signal there. Plus, earnings. What happens? Earnings, and it belly flops. Great. And then sort of comes back and now formed another box and then barfed downwards. And now look at it. That's a box breakout because of, again, the earnings gap from down here to up here. That's just too crazy. But you know what? This has gone from negative now to positive. So it goes on the list, and maybe we need to watch it for a future buy going forward. Am I buying it tomorrow? No. But let's keep an eye on it. Shark Ninja SN, look at that. Nice, calm, sideways move. Box breakout. That looks fantastic. I'd be buying Shark Ninja over Shopify, that's for sure. TKO. Stan Druckenmiller owns a bunch of this. The GOAT. Darvas box breakout on their earnings. Tesla. Okay, unfortunately, Tesla, I don't think this one can be salvaged. Box breakout here. Oh, look at that, a signal. Big red volume, another signal. Gave you 2 weeks to get out of this. And you could have gotten out at 230, whatever, but most people love Tesla. And now look at it, down, down, down. It's violated the box. There's no recovery here. You are gone. You are now moved back to box to list 6. Thanks for playing, Elon. Upstart. Just a huge, messy, volatile chart. All kinds of signals. And now the earnings with a box breakout. It's so messy. Honestly, I don't really want to have anything to do with it, but let's watch it. Maybe it actually does something really interesting. Venom. Up, oil and gas, earnings. I have this in my income portfolio. Looking for that income. Steady income. And I love it when a dividend payer keeps going up. Walmart, that's a potential buy signal right there. That is a hammer bar. It's also forming a sideways box, but look how great Walmart did in this little sell-off. If you're looking for maybe a potential long trade here, there's your signal right there. This little guy here, pullback, but that's still technically a box breakout. It's above that breakout level. So there are bullish stuff out there. Shocking, I know, right? Okay, bullish signals. These are list 3 bullish signals which have triggered bullish, but they don't fit the box breakout profile. Anyone into police cameras? With how judges and the Congress are trampling on all our rights, and turning us into a surveillance state, yeah, I guess they're going to sell a lot of them, huh? Very bullish sign right there. Caterpillar, cat. Why did I put this in here? Because there's the negative downside trigger right here. Box breakdown. But then look at that rebound. Rebounded back into the box on above average volume, bigger than the last one. I would say Caterpillar is sending a message that, hey, we're not dead yet. It's like Monty Python. Throw out your dead. I'm not dead. I'm getting better. Yeah, but that's a bullish sign, so that's why it's on this list. Right here, what's this? Costco. Yeah, Costco. I mentioned last week. There's the signal. Well, if you really wanted to have it, there's your buy line right there. You should be long about 8:30, and you're already up $25. Simple, huh? Signals and reaction to signals. Oh yeah, and there's like a box range. That one probably should go there. Let's make it bigger. Boom. Very positive development. Not a box breakout though, but very positive. Dash. Man, I guess Americans are getting takeout. Will never stop. I tried shorting it here. It just wasn't working. Look, you see there's a bullish signal right here. So get out, and what does it do? Bullish signals everywhere and strong rebound. Probably should have bought it, but was not in any mood to be buying. Monday, same bullish rebound. Look at that. The bulls really decided that was a buying opportunity. And maybe this should be bought. Yellow bar buy signal. Interesting, here's a failed signal. So I'm going to take this off this list. But last week you had a hammer bar right there. Did it trigger? No. No trigger, no trade. Kick it out. It is forming a box, but I'll draw that later. Pan W, yellow bar buy signal. Nancy Pelosi, she knows what's going on. Put that on your bull list. PLTR, box breakout failure, huge rebound. I bought some in here in the 27s, and so far so good. Knock on wood. This is AI for killing people. But again, a bullish signal. No boxes or anything, but a bullish signal. This one, Zeta. So we had a box breakout here, but then the next week it came back and went back into the range. That's why it's not on list 2. Because then it broke out again, but low volume. But look at that, green, green, green. The Zeta. Now, as you're expecting though, the list with the bearish triggers is still the biggest by far. So we'll just whip through this because, we're looking to see if there's improvements. Most stuff still looks kind of sucky, in my opinion. What I've just shown you is probably the best in the market. So if you're looking for bull trades, I'd say it's still skewed towards bearish trades. And remember that the trend overall, while that's a nice rebound, we're still in a downtrend. It's a downtrend until proven wrong. Where was I here? Okay, Airbnb, look at that. What a flop, collapse. There's no rebound here. Oddly enough, I've never stayed in an Airbnb, but from all it just doesn't sound anywhere superior, nowhere near superior to a hotel. I mean, I just stay in hotels. Affirm, A-Lab. This is one which I did cover, a short I covered. Again, that trader logic. If we have the big panicky overnight move and everybody's panicking and the low's the best you can do, cover. So I covered that short. That's a pretty good one here from here to here. It would have been better if I'd simply stuck with the first short and not screwed with it. But, I'm just a trader. I'm not God. AMD. Everybody loves AMD, right? And white bar sell signal. It had the earnings stuff. But I thought data center was going to save this. Screams the bulls as they lose everything. But yeah, look, just down, down, down. So what if it rebound? If it had a slight rebound week, so what? The overall trend's still down. Why would you buy that? Amazon, great rebound. The trend is still down. Why would you, if you're a short-term trader and you caught it, great. Better sell it before they sell it down again because the trend is down. You going to go out against Jeff Bezos? Not me. This is forming a potential box, but, not drawing that, not yet. And here's the thing. I'll keep these names on the list for probably another week or two, and then they'll start dropping off. If things really do improve, like ARM. I shorted ARM here, I covered here, because again, I saw everything start to move up. Now, on ARM, I'll be drawing a new box range, and it'll come off this list if this, closes next week anywhere near even or up, then yeah, then this list will start to dramatically shrink. Broadcom, nice rebound, still a downtrend. The Bros. Okay, look at that. That is just awful. Big white bar sell signal, big volume. You had a signal right here. You had another signal right here. Back here in the breakout, and when I sold, and I forget who, was it you, Richard, or someone who pointed out that, and if you look at my Twitter tweets, I was talking about how I was uncomfortable with the valuation of the company around these levels. I felt it was sort of getting fully valued, And that's when I stepped off here, and then it kept going up, and I felt stupid. So I bought it here, but then sold it again here. And yeah, it kept moving up, but at that point I gave up on it. Uh, and my whole concern about valuation appears to have come true. Look up my tweets, it's there. Do a search on my name, type bros, it's there. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. The question is it relevant for that point in time, or is the market going to keep doing what it wants to do? There's plenty of dumb people in the market, so I do what I can. But the concern over the valuation, a valid concern. Valuation's a secondary concern, but we had enough signals here to tell you to get out anyways. And then there's the result. Unfortunate, but what it is. CEG, huge rebound. Look at that big volume. I covered this because I shorted it up here. Now, did I know it was going to rebound all the way back up here? No, of course not. If I did, then I would be a super trader because I would have gone long here, but I didn't. All I did was cover and move on. That's a heck of a rebound. But again, it's still in the downtrend. It's still below the box level. No signals. I'm still short Sell H. I don't know what's wrong with this company, but look at that. Coin. That's a great buying. If you bought this down here, pat yourself on the back. But it made it back up just to barely its box level. I'd say that's a real difficult. That's 50-50 whether it's going to go back up or start going down again. I really have no idea. Great buy if you bought it here, but I'd be a little nervous right here. So Crocs, that's a nice rebound. I did draw a box here, but maybe I should get rid of that for the now. But there's a difference between the sort of average rebound versus a strong rebound or an even stronger rebound with a big volume bar. There's a difference. And that's how the market's going to sort these things out. CRWD, I wish I'd shorted this one, but, just looks negative. Here, we'll whip through these down. Yeah, Dell. Up here, did anybody think? Dell's at 170. Yeah, now it's at 92. Great. Thanks for playing. And look at that rebound, lack of rebound. Yeah, the AI boom is dead at the moment. I'm sure it'll come back, but at the moment. TKNG down, there's no rebound there. Ford, FSLR, we love solar, right? Yeah, where's the rebound? The buyers sort of ignored that one. Geo, unfortunately, white bar sell signal. That's a real mixed bar right there. Hard to say. This one's probably attached to political stuff, outcomes. GH. God, this one pisses me off. Got long in here, bought here, ended up blowing it out right in here. And yeah, it gave a signal there. I'm human. But yeah, so I took a loss on that one. Look at the red. I'll still keep an eye on it, but no position there anymore. Tried to avoid a loss, but yeah, I took a loss there. Hood, yeah. Well, big green rebound, but it simply made it back to where it was last week. So we'll give that another week or two. This one, box breakout failure, signal. I know some people like this one, but it's not saying there. Jumia, ooh, there we go. Jumia. So I sold this one after I sold Carvana on the Monday gap down, and it went back up, which really pissed me off. It closed back up here. Oh, I was so angry. But In hindsight, first sell's the best sell. Ugh. Now it just looks awful. It's JP Morgan, sideways. ML, my wonderful trade, put on here, sold some here, sold some here, sold some here. And ladies and gentlemen, this was a big trade. I put a lot of money in this one. Crushed it. And now signals, and look at that awful box breakdown. How's that for timing? And you know what? The signal on ML, you're gonna start taking signals seriously? Right there. Microsoft. Look at that rebound. Barely didn't come back. See how the market's sorting it out. Who's the strong and who's the weak? Micron. They laughed at me when I said this was extremely bearish. Yeah, well, who's laughing now? Although, did I short it? No. But there were a lot of arrogant longs who replied. This one, yeah, no, that's nothing. New core down. Steel still down. NVIDIA, no signals, but some big volume. Did it have the huge rebound? No. Should be out. Qualcomm should be out. Roblox had earnings, whatever. Bearish. Triggers. SE, another one that pissed me off. I owned it back here. Sold it here. Look at that. Right here. And it closed above where I sold it. Ugh, how irritating. So I'm frustrated, and I'm sure you're frustrated too. This little guy, I kept because my cost average is like down here about 9. So, and I didn't have time to look at this, and then it started rising on Monday, so I decided to keep it. What a wild ride. But this is what I like about this. Big green volume. Where's the red volume? It's not there. So this one, while there's no bullish signals, that is a bearish signal right here, and it did trigger. But so far, it closed above, so far so good. This one will probably come off the list next week. SMCI, ugh. I thought this was the greatest company ever. Guess not. SoFi, back to where it started. Square, box. Actually, I shouldn't draw the box yet. See, signal there. Oh, this one should be, well, TMDX. This one looks great. It did have the little quietly small negative here, but that probably should not be on this list. Let's put it in the, probably resolves bullishly. We'll just put it in the bullish list. And we're almost done. VRT, box breakdown, rebound on some volume, but is that truly bullish? No. Trend is still down. VST, some rebounding, but again, the overall pattern is down. Don't get suckered into thinking we're in a brand new bull market. We're not. Okay, let's wrap this up. Users on your user suggestions. CVLT. Commvault. Oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. And this here's a weekly signal. This is ready to be bought on Monday. Let's add this to the lists, bullish signals. Let's look at this on monthly. Look at that, yellow bar signal. There's probably a box in here like that. 80 to 150. Why don't you tell me about this one earlier? All right, what's next? Oh yeah, go daddy. Who's your daddy? MDB's your daddy. Wow. Did we just have a huge sell-off? I don't think the market realized on this one. It's going higher. Look at that. Look at that trend. Man, how come I don't know about these? Why don't you bring these to me sooner? Penalty. That's on a monthly look. Yellow bar signal to launch it. And going straight up ever since. Interesting. What's the next one? PPC. Pilgrim's Pride. Yeah, that's going up. Look at this. It spent from 2015 to 2024 going up, down, up, down, up, down, sideways. If we're going to call this a box, yeah, we'll call it like that. And there's a breakout. Excellent picks. What's next? Lily. Shake and bake, but forming a new box. Nice rebound. I know Lily's been a giant winner, but look at that. See the pink on the monthly? It says pay attention. Shake and bake. PLTR, we've done TTT, TTD. Oof. Shake and bake. That's an older box. Look at this, down and back up. Honestly, it's difficult. On a monthly, yeah, looks like it's coming out. It doesn't get me excited. SG. Yeah, and this is a monthly chart. I must have looked at it at a prior point. That's a textbook breakout on a monthly. So get on a weekly. I don't have it charted up on the weekly, but there's a signal. I would call it like this. And then something like, well, it's a little difficult. Actually came down a little bit and now a giant boom bump back up. Not the easiest, but if you traded it, let's say off the monthly chart, you'd be looking pretty good there. Who's next? DT. Dynatrace. Are you seeing anything? There's a bullish bar there, but overall pattern. Let's go to the monthly. That doesn't look all that great, to be honest. I don't know. I think there's better. I don't like it. Sorry. Last, Square and Airbnb. Well, we talked about Airbnb. Let's just take a look about Square. This is the monthly chart. Does that look exciting? Well, not doing much. On the weekly, you had a sell signal right here. So even on the weekly, it's not doing much. I'd say there's better, my friend. But thank you for submitting. Last, that is it. Let's see anything on the other one. Not many recs. People just aren't interested. Everybody's shell shocked. KLXE? What is that? Energy. That's our weekly chart. Let's go to the monthly. Oof. Well, there's a potential signal there, and it did trigger higher. But how about a nice technology company? How about a nice tech company instead? What do we got? STAA and AMD. We already talked about AMD. Just no. AMD, what's the other one? Oh, STAA. My old friend, STAA. So on the weekly, box breakdown with a big volume crush. Monthly, not doing much. Unfortunately, I don't see STA doing much. So, okay, well, that is the weekend review video. Let me show you one more thing. On the S&P 500 estimates, got latest data here on August 6th. And what's interesting here is the changes. Check this one out right here. What the hell is that? I should put it green. Up 12% on that quarter or revision? Is that real? I don't know. Was that a typo? I don't know. But at the moment, it's helping to ease the valuation problem, which I pointed out before. This is how we closed on Friday. We're 82% reported. So at the moment, based on the forward look, we are back in normal valuation territory. Maybe that's why the S&P rebounded, why it didn't crash. But near term, we're overvalued, but long term, this bump, adding $6 into the overall $6 of earnings, yeah, that's definitely going to help. So we'll see if the next week, whether they update that or take it away or revise it. So that's the weekend review. I hope you enjoyed it. Otherwise, now it's time for lunch. And have a good week trading. Talk to you later. Bye.